Hi everyone and welcome back to Chess for Charity. In this video, I'm going to show you a really cool puzzle where it's white to move and win. This is one that even the engine has a hard time solving. So if you just put this in an engine, it might tell you the wrong move, even if you let it sit for 10, 15, 30 seconds even. So it's white to play and win. Take a second, see if you can figure it out. While you're considering the solution here, let me ask you to subscribe if you have not already. Half of the income I earn in this channel goes directly to charity, so every like, every subscriber helps us out so much. Okay, so let's get started here. So the engine says h5. That is not the way to win. So I don't even really know the idea behind this move. Maybe you're blocking this square. I don't know. It seems like a waiting move. Maybe you're eventually trying to move the bishop and get something going. I'm not really sure. So you might notice the tension between these pieces. So the way I like to look at it, and I see these rooks, these are very menacing rooks on these pawns. I see this queen pointing at this bishop. I notice the back rank is a little bit weak, right? These are kind of things you point out. I see the rook is unprotected. Okay, I see the bishop is unprotected. All right, so like how do you make sense of all these things and put them in a nice, clean move? So the way to take advantage of this is to kind of take all those pieces that just shared and put it into one move. So like I said, this bishop is unprotected, this back rank is weak, and this pawn is pinned because of this unprotected bishop. So all of that being said, you might see the first move, which is a stunning move. It is. Rook c6. Bang. Imagine playing that. That's a cool move. So what's the idea here? Well, clearly I'm attacking the queen. So, sure. But what's actually happening? I think we should first talk about what happens if they take it. We could talk about if they don't. So let's just say they take this way, the obvious mistake. So why is this a mistake? Well, I just pointed out that the bishop is unprotected, right? This would be check. The queen has to back up, and then it's just checkmate to follow. Not too complicated. Okay, so that's kind of a flashy move if they take, but they could take the other way. What if they take this way? Can you really get through all these complications? See if you can figure it out. Well, the only move, it seems pretty clear, rook b8. You have to contend with this if you're black, because wait a second, my bishop is under attack and I have no convenient way of defending it, right? If only you can like move the rook like here, right? That's not how it works. Well, you can play queen here. I should share for a second. The engine says g6, in case you're not sure. The engine says just give up this bishop, because all will be lost if you don't. Okay, I think a human may not, I don't know, just give that up. I guess you can tell me what you think. But I thought when I saw this variation, what about just dropping the queen back? And yeah, you can, but remember, this pawn is being defended by this bishop. And this bishop is right behind or I should say right in front of, the queen. So I can take this. That's a free piece, or free pawn. Now, if they take, obviously that's a huge mistake. That's not only losing your queen, that's losing the game. That's checkmate in 1, which ends the game. So after this queen retreat, you take this bishop, and now black is kind of just lost. What can they really do here? I'm going to take this with my rook soon. What can you do? Like, you tried to trade rooks. I'm not going to trade. I'm taking. And if they were to trade, that would be bad. But you can maybe do this. I guess that's a salvageable to keep the game alive. But come on. This is pretty clear. Take this way, take that way, whatever you want to do. You're up a pretty clean amount of material. Not an issue at all. Okay, so we looked at the variation of if they take with this pawn, if they take with that pawn, right? I think we just showed all that. Do you have any other ideas here? After this move, would you play anything else other than queen dropping back? Because this might look good to the engine. Just take this. And then you can play king here. You can drop the bishop back. In either case, I don't know. It doesn't seem great to me. The engine saying bishop takes, or bishop dropping back is the best. And then after, let's see, let it think for a second. D takes c6. There's a lot of tension happening, a lot of pressure going on. It's clear that white is better. What about the alternative, which if you ever play games where you make a cool move like this, and you're like, bang, like if you take this way, you lose. If you take that way, you lose. I should kind of mention the obvious. If the queen takes, that's totally fine. Just take the queen back. And not only would it be bad, if they do this, it's the same issue. If they do that, it's the same issue. You win the game. So the queen is not going to do that. What if you just move away? Like, what if the queen goes here? What if the queen goes there? What if something else, right? Because every time you make these cool moves, this didn't take anything, right? You didn't capture any material on the square. You just moved here. So let's just say they move back. Queen f8. What do? Well, you just take this pawn. And now look at the pressure that's mounting. You might be able to double up. You might be able to start putting pressure. You might bring this other bishop into the game. There's a lot happening. According to the engine, rook a8 is best. And then look, you just put rook b to c1, piling pressure on here. And then looking at the engine right now, it says b5. Yeah, a takes b or bishop d1. Just, these all seem normal. My first thought was like this kind of move, but not yet. Yeah, just take. What's wrong with this? I don't see anything wrong with this. All right, you're clearly better in this position if you're playing white. You're mounting all this pressure. You can eventually bring your queen in, start hitting them where it hurts, and you'll win. So if you go all the way back, there really is nothing to do, right? If you move back here, it's all the same. The engine is saying that d6 might be slightly better than taking. It's very close. It's like plus 5.8 versus 5.5, like one of those kinds of differences. I wouldn't play this, because I'm not that smart. I would just play this move because it looks obvious to me. Plus, I'm attacking the bishop, and there's a lot of tension. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Did you see that move? That stunning rook c6. And again, the main variation, take it, win it, take it that way, pin, and then win on that weak back rank. It's really cool. So hopefully you were able to figure it out. If not, totally fine. Maybe you thought, hey, just drop back. And then you looked even deeper and said, well, after this, how are they living? Rook a8, just pile up. Again, they have to start defending. They have to kind of crawl into a ball. That's not how you want to play the game. d6, cement this rook in here. This rook is trapped. This bishop is going nowhere. This bishop can't go anywhere, right? Look at how instructive this puzzle is. So even though the engine sees h5 as the best move, the engine's just wrong. Once you show it this rook move, it realizes that that's the best move. Hopefully you find that interesting. If you did, let me know. Other than that, thanks so much for watching, and until next time, bye.